citizens! Today I want to talk to you about my paper fetish, which is not a fetish in the sexual sense, but in the broader way that means a fixation or strong, unusual desire for something. And I think it's time for you to know that I am obsessed with paper. I love physical books, and I don't own an ebook reader, although nothing against them, I just have a hard time concentrating if I'm not actually turning pages. And this is gonna make me sound like a huge dork, but I love going to office supply stores and hanging out in the paper aisle and looking at all the different shapes and sizes and colors and textures and patterns that they have, because I love all of it. I love Post-its, note cards, notepads, notebook paper, printer paper, graph paper, staff paper, even the plain and simple spiral-bound notebooks. But most of all, I love journals. It's not just that they're pretty, although that's definitely part of it. Writing by hand has always felt more real to me than typing on a computer. It's almost like the words don't exist unless I can run my fingers over them and feel the indent of a pen. Handwriting forces me to slow down and contemplate my words, to focus on what I mean to write before I write it. But it's also freeing to be unrestrained by the straight lines on a screen or the predefined characters on a keyboard. I can draw, doodle, fold, cut, glue at will. A blank piece of paper constantly tempts my creativity. There's also something intimate about reading handwritten notes or poetry scrawled on leftover scraps of paper. You can tell a lot about a person by how they curve their A's or dot their I's. The smeared ink and crossed out words and any other imperfections are what make these words special. A handwritten note can never be written the same way twice. I may be alone in this, but I think that love letters should always be written by hand. In our current age of environmentalism, we often see paper as a burden, and I won't deny that. Compared to PDFs on a hard drive, paper is bulky and heavy and wasteful, and nothing is more miserable than trying to move boxes and boxes of books across the country. You worry about the pages getting wet or the corners getting torn, but to me the fragility of paper is also part of the beauty. Paper itself is more delicate than almost any other material in existence. It's susceptible to fire, water, creasing, tearing, even the oil on our hands. And nothing written on paper can ever be permanent because pencil will eventually rub away and ink will bleed or smudge. But in my experience, the best things in life are often the ones that don't last. It's a theme that's been covered in every story ever written about immortality. Our days are only meaningful because they are not infinite. Without the possibility of their destruction, the words written on paper would not have as much significance, in the same way that our lives would not have as much significance without the possibility of our death. So I guess you could say that my paper fetish has yet another meaning. If a fetish is an object of reverence, something regarded with trust and devotion on an almost religious level, then yes, paper is my fetish, and it has the magical power to remind me that nothing exists forever. But maybe that's not such a bad thing after all. Do you have a paper fetish, or do you prefer digital reading and writing? Let us know in the comments, and I will see you on Saturday. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Bye! Today I want to talk about... Today I want to talk about... That was a voice crack. Today I want to talk about my paper fetish, which is a not sexual fetish. Words.